Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura. I'm glad you're here. I think I'm alone. I'm kidding. I am not. I am joined by two of the best co-hosts to have. Christian Putalias is in the house wearing sunglasses, bro. What's up with that? You doing all right, Christian? Did someone hit you? Do you have a black eye? What did we miss?
We're not mourning.
No. Okay, I see it all black. I got you. I guess it was that type of weekend, man. You didn't get the birthday celebration that you would have hoped. I assume, huh?
Bro, I tried to watch the Dash. I wasn't able to get to that. I was watching those. They put on a show, and then I invited people over to watch the game, and I was all excited. Rivalry week, all these things. Derby match. Y ahí me dejaron caer. So,
but
I don't have the music because we'll probably get copyrighted, but
there you go. Yeah, I told you. I told Chris you have to crack open and win. I have LaCroix because apparently I don't have anything.
This is water.
There you go.
Just in case YouTube is watching.
But we are not alone. We are joined by somebody who was at the game. That is our very own fan reporter or correspondent there, Madelyn Stewart. Madelyn, if I can get you in here. Did she in here?
There we go. Hi, guys.
There you go. I'm going to put you in the middle. How are you, Madelyn?
I'm good.
This is good.
She's doing better than you, and she was at the game. She had to suffer in real time.
In real life
from the stands. Funny enough, this is a strange week that we haven't had. Well, I take that back. We have had because there is no game this weekend for the Dynamo. There's only a massive Texas Derby that took place. We can start there for sure. I'll kind of give you my side of things. Is I didn't get to suffer because I didn't get to watch it live. It was unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I think I've grown. I'm definitely the person that I would have the phone on, but we're celebrating my kid and my father-in-law's birthday. So I did my best to stay away, but me and my brother-in-law David, we were like across the table, and he'd be like, "They're winning, they're losing, they're winning." Like it was one of those, and they got to the point they're like, "Please hold on to that 3-2 lead halftime," but it wasn't meant to be. But that's my point of view. Madelyn, before we get into the game, just, first time we talked to you last week, first time visiting FC Dallas in Toyota Stadium. How was that for you? For the people that haven't been able to go, obviously completely different vibe because you get to go in a bus with a bunch of other crazy fanatics. But so tell us a little bit of that before we get into the actual game.
Yeah, so it was awful. Dallas is awful. We were on the bus, right? So I don't know if fans who went individually, I don't think they experienced this. I think it was just like who went with the actual Dynamo organization experienced this awfulness from Dallas. But pretty much they wouldn't let us. They said, once you enter our property, you go from the bus to your seat. And so they wouldn't let us take a group picture. So we ended up having to stop at like a random HEB across from the stadium to take a picture because apparently us taking a picture at their stadium was going to cause issues. So we get there and I'm like, they're saying no bags, but I'm thinking, okay, this is like no backpacks. Like if I'm following their clear bag policy, it's fine. And they were like, no, if you're coming off this Dynamo bus, even if you're following our policy, you're off that bus and you can't have a bag.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
That's pathetic.
Right, like it was so extra from them. We get to our seats. We have like security. It was more security than Dallas. It was than Austin. When we went to Austin, we had a few security guards here and there. No, Dallas, they had us lined with security. So we all we're waiting for our whole group to get there to go to the seats. And a Dallas fan, just to be awful, walks through us. Well, then of course everyone's already drunk on the way there. So then everyone's already a little riled up, and then this Dallas fan just tries to walk through to start stuff. Luckily, the police got him away and pushed him out of the way. So then we get to the seats, And we're there, we're minding our own business, but how they had us seated, Dallas fans could, because obviously it's like there's only one level to their stadium. But where we were, there's like a kind of a patio next to us. So people were looking over that patio at us, and Dallas fans were trying to taunt us there. So then police finally got that done. Well, then their supporter groups come in. And their supporter groups is sitting on the opposite side of the stadium from us, but they let their supporter groups go in the same gates as us.
Of course.
And then they let them stop right in front of our section and play. And obviously we couldn't even bring bags in, so we couldn't bring instruments in. So they're just letting their supporters stay there. But then we weren't supposed to engage at all. But like then their fans were allowed to engage with us, and we were supposed to just like sit there straight faced. And it was like, that's not happening. So there was some tension there. They ended up getting them away. Then where they had us seated, it was really bad. Like one section, they had kind of set off and like separated us from the Dallas fans, but then they gave us like 2 rows from another section and didn't separate us from Dallas fans. And it was just like everyone was supposed to be on their best behavior, but they weren't creating an environment where it was going to be easy for anyone to be on good behavior.
I can't say that is new. The last time I was there, I'm actually you and myself, Christian. I think that we wrote that buzz was, I don't know, like 2021, 2022. It's been a couple of years, but yeah, same idea. Like, you know, you go there, you obviously it is a hostile environment that you're going to, just derby wise, and you know the fan base is specifically some of like supporter groups don't like each other or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it's a family atmosphere. You're hoping that it's like, hey, get this together. But yeah, I felt that time it was obviously before they started the remodeling, and they parked us like what felt like a mile away from like the stadium. Remember? Then we had to walk like the entire parking lot. And on the way in, it wasn't that bad. But on the way out, there's a lot of people, and yeah, things kind of like
rowdy.
It got rowdy. Things were thrown. You know, people were running. Yeah, and so, but it goes to show that as much as they want to make, you know, the visitor, because I'm not going to point out specifically Houston since you know that it's a visitor, but you know, if you have a big group of people that you're expecting to show up for the opposing opponent, you would think you would be much smarter. And like you said, it's kind of like at the end of the day, you're kind of defenseless on a lot of the aspects, right? Of like the policies aren't really going your way because you're taking away banners or flags or, you know, whatever the case may be. Obviously instruments are out of the picture as well. And so it kills the vibe altogether, but then you let the ones over there basically taunt the entire time. It's not fun. And yeah, we got to see it like that time we went. And Christian, I mean, it was just similar vibes to a lot of the videos that Madelyn you shared and we were able to post. You know, people obviously like, at the end of the day, you're going to be surrounded by FT Dallas fans, and you know every goal they turn around, they like try to make a point and get people's attention. So you just need one bag egg to fall into it, and all hell breaks loose. But but I will say this match, I was so envious of you and even the people that watched it on TV just because of how crazy it was. I really was expecting a lot of goals. I was hoping a 2-2 draw would be more or less what the match would be, knowing that both teams tend to score goals. But somehow, you know, red guards continue to appear. But Christian, before we get too far into the match, man, just your vibes on the rivalry, as like, you know, as is the Texas Derby, man.
Yeah, I mean, personally, myself, I hate everything that comes out of Dallas. So, you know, I guess we can start off there, right? So, but I don't know. I just don't FC Dallas. I don't know.
Doesn't your brother live in Dallas, man? Poor guy. I know. Look at that hatred.
That's why we don't let him come down here. We're like, you either move back or you stay over there. You can't just keep coming back and forth. No. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's a rivalry. There's history there. There's banter and all this stuff. I think lately maybe Austin has gotten a little bit more spicier in a way, just because we were closer to them. And obviously they have more people that travel to Houston whenever that happens. And it feels like lately, or this last few times that we play with Dallas, it doesn't get played with
Yeah.
that same intensity that maybe you see, I don't know, Seattle, Portland, or Miami, Orlando.
Even
you
a
know,
real Salt
other
Lake for a
rivalries.
while. It seemed like
Yeah.
it was a much
Yeah.
better rivalry.
Yeah, or Kansas
Or
City.
Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, you want to see a little bit of blood, you know, in a good way, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it was a good game, kind of. At least you get to see goals. You know, the experiences. I think the title for David's column, I guess we can call it, or whatever it is that he wrote, was like the perfect definition. You know, he was like, Houston won the comeback, but they lost the game.
Yeah.
So that's literally how it felt. It's like we got so happy for a little while, and then it just kind of faded. You know,
Yeah.
I think me and you, Rudy, we forgot to post the Tengo Miedo memes, like I'm scared memes.
We did, yeah.
That's what threw it off.
Yeah.
But if we would have posted those memes, I think we would have won. But
right.
What do we know?
We forgot. Yeah, Christian, before we get started, man, if you want to tell the people how they can connect with us, and I can touch on the sponsors if that makes it easier. So.
Sure. Yeah. As always, guys, you can go to the website BayouCitySoccer.net. That's where that's where you're gonna find everything and anything. You can also find us on FootMob if you have the app. If you go to the news sections on the Houston Dynamo and the Dash side, you can find us in the articles there. They'll take you directly to the link, and you can also find us on the Discord. So if you want to be part of that Discord, we also put everything that goes into the website into the Discord, so you have an easier time for you to click. As always, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Blue Sky. That's where you can find us. And obviously here on YouTube, if you're watching live, welcome. If you're watching later, welcome later. And obviously our podcast, you can always find us on Spotify or just wherever it is that you listen to. Just find us at Bayou City Soccer. That's it.
Yeah, I love Apple. I'm Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like it better. Yeah, and talking about the sponsors, obviously, Electos Bravos at the stadium. I was at Shell Energy Stadium on Saturday. I did get myself some corn in a cup. It was delicious, and as well as I think it was a mango fresh water. Oh, yeah, it hit the spot for sure. So Electos Bravos. They tend to come in close, especially because it was pretty hot. And I don't want to get too much into that because I told people my kids were overheating faster than an iPhone at the beach. It wasn't looking good. So we weren't able to be there for any of the goals because someone missed a penalty. And I was so excited. I was like, please at least score a goal here. And as soon as we left, it seems like the doors open for goals. But that's mentioned at the Bravos. Then we have Ugly Guppy who are helping us to come up with a really cool shirt for you guys. I think the idea here, and I'll give some context to this. We're creating a shirt. We're hoping that we can put it up for sale for you guys to listen to the podcast and obviously follow along on our website. Can buy it. And so we'll get some shirts. We'll do probably a photo shoot or some sort. And then we'll put it out there and give enough time. Like say, hey, you have 2 weeks to make your order or a month to make your order. And that way, they all get, once it closes and the order can be fulfilled. And I think that'd be the best way to do it. We obviously really, really appreciate the support that you guys give us. This would go a long way. And, Christian, you talk about the Discord and the ways that people can donate and help us out. It obviously helps us maintain Bayou City Soccer as much as we want. And the last thing is we touch on We Got Soccer all the time. They're fantastic with us. They help us out and they do a bunch of stuff. They did get a new rebrand. They're Unisport Soccer Houston now. I need to get with Ruben to confirm this, but I'm pretty sure the Bayou City 10 discount still works. So if you go in store, you can go try Bayou City 10. Again, that's be at the I want to say Bel Air, but it's not Bel Air, the West Chase location and the Tomball location. So make sure to go check them out. Again, Unisport Soccer Houston. They still have Teodene stuff. So I know that Marco Fabian, a Mexican national team legend, was out there with Cesar Procel and the Spanish media. So we need to make a visit soon, Christian. We need to go.
Yeah, Also, they do a lot of cool events. They did the jersey reveal party for the latest Dynamo jersey.
Yes.
And they do stuff like that all the time. So, like you said, Marco Fabiano was there. You know, I was going to say Dynamo legend, Mexican national team legend, and he played in Chivas, right? Right, Marco Fabiano. And then they usually have like some other dudes and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool if you follow soccer. Here and there they have some stars in there for you to go check out, get some signatures, get a picture. So it's, even if you're not going to buy, which I think once you're in there you're gonna want to buy everything. It's worth just following them for the stuff that they have. They have specials all the time, sales and all the good stuff. So why not?
Yeah. So check them out. Check out their website. Obviously, go to the store in person and check out the stuff as well. We do welcome in a few comments from the Bayou Banter. Jay Hurtado, always here. Rushan, man, good to see you back. It's been a minute. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you didn't like us enough to show up too often, or I don't know what went down, Rushan. You are always welcome, and we will talk about Ponce. So get that comment out there ready. But guys, we'll go ahead and start playing the highlights from the game. We can start with the starting lineup here before it goes away right here. Let me see. Hopefully it doesn't play.
Before you even play it, I mean, you can play it, but I just want to say I'm still not a fan of this. Some people don't want to say back five, but back five or three with the wingers or whatever. So,
you don't like it?
I hate it.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I just think that it's interesting because of the injuries and the things that have happened. Obviously, going through the starting lineup, Jonathan Bond in goal, Eric Sviatchenko, Antonio Carlos back in the lineup after his suspension as the captain once again. Lucas Halter, obviously injured last match, so he was out for this one. Felipe Andrade takes his place. I don't think a center back suits Andrade, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that as the game went along. Holmes as the right wing back. Hector Herrera makes a start alongside Jock McGlynn. Lawrence Enali, who continue to grow into that role to an extent on the defensive side. Obviously, he scores a goal, but Guillermo, lots of Guillermo talk. There will be Ezequiel Ponce. I mentioned it already, Rushan, get in here. And Mati Bogush. I like this lineup to begin with, but I'll go ahead and start playing, and we can stop as the match comes along. And Madelyn, you were there real time, so whatever you observe that you liked or didn't like, feel free to add it in here. But
yeah, I haven't actually watched the game back, so this is the first I'm seeing.
Good. Okay, actually, a question for you real fast. I know you haven't been to the stadium. Yeah. I know you haven't been to the stadium, but how did the remodeling, aspect look like?
It was so it didn't look like they had made any progress. Okay, it was so ugly.
Yeah.
Does it look like really a high school stadium?
Yes, and it was like I was trying to get a good picture of the stadium to post on my Instagram, and I was like, it's just construction. It's just all construction. Yeah. It's bad.
But it's, obviously, it's a hole, right? I mean, your street level, and then bang, it's just a giant hole was dug, and they put seats on it.
Crater.
Yeah, what's so weird? Yeah, their supporter group isn't behind the goal.
No, it's in a corner.
That was so weird to me.
Yeah.
And they're always been there. It's not because it's Dallas. Yeah. Make it make sense. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Originally, where you guys were, whenever I saw the videos that you gave us, basically the supporters used to sit across. So so it was basically diagonal to the opposing supporter groups. Again, doesn't make a ton of sense, but no,
I was gonna say I think this is gonna sound like smack talking. I don't want to.
It has entire time, Christian.
Right, but I think the reason they don't get behind it is because they don't have a big supporter group. The numbers aren't there, so they don't want it to look kind of empty. I think. No, but I'm being dead serious.
No,
The
Dude, I
Dynamo,
don't know.
I mean, the Dynamo suffers from
Yeah.
that from time to time. Let's not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, am I lying?
Throwing shade here.
No, but I
Not
think
this season. Not this
what
season. But
what
yeah.
made it worse for the Dynamo is that El Batallón went to the upstairs. Remember, everybody used to be downstairs, and that's when it looked like very full, like all the time, right? Nowadays, when we have like sold out, like when there's sold out games and stuff like that, it looks very nice, full, and like a ton of people in there, and I love it. I mean, I love like supporter sections. I mean, as a Boca fan, that's my thing, right? And I think we from time to time we have suffered through that. And I mean, when the team was doing terrible, I mean, who wanted to go, right? Even if the tickets were $10.
Yeah. For sure.
But I think now, I mean, the supporter groups are building. I mean, even Texan Army and like some of those smaller groups, right? I think they're getting bigger and more people are joining them. The Searcher also seems like to have a little bit of more
good
numbers.
EV
And EB, I mean, they're the heartbeat in a sense, right? Like literally with the drums. So, and they seem to kind of grow slowly but surely. But on the other side, Dallas, they never seem to like have a good number.
Yeah.
So I think they just kind of give them like a smaller spot to fill that they could fill, which is that little
I
corner.
will say though, to the point of why they're not behind the goal, I think because behind the goal is still kind of premium seating, because obviously the other side,
that's what I noticed.
Yeah, there's no seats behind one
That's
of the
true.
goals. And because of that, it is narrow. And I mean, I was able to visit the Kansas City Stadium a few years back, and it's very similar in how much seats are behind the goal, like there is in Toyota right now, Toyota Stadium. And but they don't have like what is the national soccer?
Yeah, they have
Hall of
that
Fame.
there too behind the goal.
And so I think that's more of a VIP thing, and because of that, I think they have to push them to more of a corner, which, as you mentioned, I mean, it kind of is a Dallas thing at this point, right? Because you could put them behind the one goal, right? The one goal that you have space for, and they don't. But yeah, let me go ahead and play the clip here. Hit play. There we go. It's a little slow.
The first thing my dad noticed was like, oh, they have a casino thing. I was like, bro, Joe degenerate. He was like, that's the casino I go to. I was like, that's terrible. That's funny. The first thing you notice,
right?
You guys, this was so bad being there live, because I felt like our supporter group, like I felt like we were almost louder than theirs. Like it was, the vibes were great, and they did it right in that corner.
Yeah. There was a really great ball that they threw in. Fantastic shot. Like, I kept thinking, like, I've seen this guy before. I don't remember him. He was the guy that was tearing it up with San Diego last year. He was Farrington had a fantastic year last year with San Diego, and I felt that we've seen that type of play in the past with Antonio Carlos, that sometimes he just doesn't step quick enough. And I think it happened game one or that it was similar. It was like him on a one-on-one, and I feel that he should be beating the defender.
Like,
and then this
go back a little bit. Right when the pass comes, like you see that in Ali and whoever's marking.
Yeah, they just
kind
of
they're literally together. They're both of them are together.
Like,
I noticed that there were a few times where our players were on top of each other.
No. And that's because like both of those guys don't know how to defend like that.
Yeah, that was another very good strike by Farrington, man. I think they give him to his strong foot, and he is not gonna miss those. But game 2-0. I'm trying to eat my. What the heck was I eating? I'm trying to eat what I remember. I don't know. It was a salt
Look at that
grass,
pressure.
so
Look at that pressure.
Ponce did something good, really well there. Rushing.
Yeah, that's the thing that Ponce has.
Being on the way. I mean, the guy's not there. Guillermo has been top class. I mean, even let me go back a little bit, because even you can't take credit away from Ponce continuing that run, because he could have really, easily just stay there, but he makes that diagonal run, so the defender has to second guess as well as the goalkeeper. You see the goalkeeper kind of stutter,
yeah,
because
and we've seen before where he doesn't make those runs.
Yeah, sometimes I mean it's difficult, right? Whenever those transition moments, for sure.
Because if you're gonna pressure the goalkeeper, it has to be like a team effort. Because there's no point if one player goes up and pressures, then nobody else pressures. Because I mean, it literally gives the option to the goalkeeper to open up everywhere he wants. But as you can see on this one, Guillermo, he knew that the pressure was gonna come, so obviously he blocked the right side of the goalkeeper, knowing that the only option was gonna go left. So he was like, all right, let's see if I can step forward, and he does.
That was a very tough shot. I mean, I think for how easy it may be that you stole the ball, that putting that ball around the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper is positioned really, really well, and I mean he has to get that ball completely around and not miss for how fast he hits it. Let me go back to Rushan said he came back because Aliyu came back, by the way, and he was waiting. He was hoping that Joey and Dustin were here, as he mentions that they have a lot of love for Aliyu
and Juan.
And then Rushan also mentioned that apparently the people from El Matador can grill, so I think that may turn off
this.
That's maybe the case. So this one here, we stopped the ride off a corner. I'm trying to remember who built this up. I think it was Holmes that went all the way up wide, creating a corner, and who else is going to take it but the Brazilian?
Terrible defending by Dallas
on this.
Eric just
he was wide open. I mean, he picks him up perfectly. I mean, he jumps, but it was right to him. And then this here was just world class. Yeah, this one. I told you guys, I obviously didn't get to watch the game live, so I rewatched some of it on Sunday, and then I rewatched the entire thing once again this morning, and I was like, there's no way that Guillermo does not make Team of the Week. Like, this guy was just brilliant in those 5 minutes of 3 goals get scored. This guy just put on like the Brazilian number 10, whoever. Someone touched him, whether it be Ronaldinho. I mean, who knows? But this pass right here was ridiculous. And you can see from the get-go, right? He has the ball. He's dribbling. He doesn't even let Jack. That's Jack's ball. You see Jack right behind him. And Guillermo's playing right wing, but decides to dribble this all the way in. And it's funny because you see an alley all the way at on the back, and he's running, but he's kind of going slow-mo, if that makes sense. Like, no one's really moving other than Anali and Guillermo. And Guillermo has this beautiful pass. It just goes through everybody.
Perfect
Decent touch. And it's a goal. But
that
man,
what
a ball. What a ball.
The vibes were amazing when that happened.
Yeah, I'm sure, because obviously the match goes really fast, 2-0. Yeah, I'll go back. The match goes from 2-0 really fast, and then out of nowhere in 5 minutes it gets flipped. And obviously, I'm sure you guys were ecstatic in the crowd. Obviously, you did see, because of the how close this game is, there was orange everywhere in the stadium, and their reaction specifically to this third goal was just like an explosion of just happiness. And it was completely the opposite. That the Dallas fans were just so let down after how it went down. But I mean, that pass, I told you guys on our group chat, I was like, I take everything back I ever mentioned about Guillermo. Not that I ever spoke bad about him. I will say that there's people that probably have said worse things after watching that 2-minute highlight. Yeah. But I joked around when I was like, oh man, Dynamo went to Brazil, went to Santos, and got the wrong Brazilian, thinking everybody wanted Neymar in Houston. But maybe that's who Guillermo is, right? He's Neymar at this point. I was a Dynastas that said on the group as well, kind of comparing the numbers between Guillermo and Neymar, and it was exactly the same thing, which is really good numbers for what it was.
That could allow. And also, who was it that I think it was Dustin that mentioned that he has like the most goal contributions?
Yes, 7.
One of the top
7 goal contributions with 1 game in hand. So he's tied, I think, with Sudrich, which We won't talk too much about him because Madelyn's like kicking her butt in Golden Boot.
Yes, let's talk about that.
22 goals. And
That's crazy.
Don't get me wrong, I did saw your message about posting an update, and I will do it for you. I kind of didn't have time, and I was like, I'll go back and I'll write who's because I'm sitting.
You should do it every 5 games. so we can catch up.
every FIFA break at this point. This is a FIFA break here. The game continued on. Dallas had a few more opportunities, nothing really crazy that Bond didn't take care of in the first half, and the match would go to Houston Dynamo being up 3-2 at the half.
That was a good save. What a save by Bond. Yeah, it's a good save.
All right. 53rd minute.
Bro,
my God, this is so bad.
Yeah, that was... I feel bad for Dwayne.
Stupid VAR. But that was like a perfectly timed run. And then right there, there's nothing you can do as a defender. I mean, your momentum is just going. Yeah. That was like the beginning of the end for Shevchenko. Like scoring an own goal, basically. At the end,
who was it? Was it Svinchenko or was it Holmes?
They give it to Dwayne. Yeah,
they hit both of them. Yeah,
it hit. It looked like it hit Svinchenko first, and Holmes tried to save it and tipped it in.
He looks like he held that run perfectly.
Yeah, he sure did.
Musa's good.
And also, like the defending on Musa, it wasn't really like that contended. I get he was inside the box, and it's kind of hard. But at least put some body into it.
This year was a red card. Such a weak foul.
Such a lazy.
They had done that to us though, right outside the box too.
And also
but it goes back to the thing about how many men you have behind the ball. It's not like he just stood there. It's a foul, but it's not a yellow card foul.
Exactly. Like if you're the referee, like he's already on a yellow, you can tell the guy, hey, like don't do that again because next one I'll take you out.
He just stood. Yeah,
these referees are weak, bro.
It's a foul. It's a foul, but come on.
I hate when referees try to be
Musa is so good, man. I think people sleep on him. Obviously, he's already started again.
He made it back to the Croatian national team.
Yeah, man. That was it.
Terrible.
All right. Tell us how bad this feeling was for you, Madelyn.
It was awful. It was like they go into the half up. Down 2-0 and they're up to 3 goals in 4 minutes. It's great. Then the own goal happens and it's like, it's okay. It's a draw. Then the red cards happened and it's like, oh my God, okay, at least just hold the draw. Just hold the draw. But we could see in the stadium, the highlights aren't showing it, but in the stadium, you could see how far back the Dynamo was sitting, that they were just asking for another goal to go in. Because I think that they need to start training with 10 men. If the red cards are going to keep happening, they have to figure out how to lock in the defense with 10 men. Because, I guess they did that. What the last game they went down to 10 and figured it out.
So I just don't. Yeah.
Maybe this team. Who did they play last?
But granted, that was against Portland. But
so maybe Dallas is better.
There was 5 minutes left, and here you had to play with Svinchenko for 20 minutes plus.
And Svinchenko's more of a loss than Nick is too defensively.
Yeah,
right. Nick wasn't going to be defending as much as Svinchenko's going to be.
But no, that's a good point. I think at this point, Rushan says 5 versus 11. Yeah, honestly, whatever it may be, just play one guy at a time. All right, 11 versus Bond, go for it. Then 11 versus Andrade. Just do that at this point. Make them, extremely good at playing with the numbers really lopsided here. But no, it's an interesting point because I will say that yes, the amount of red cards that they have started the season with is crazy, but it's not necessarily new, right? I think how many
almost there's 5 goal scorers and there's 4 guys with red cards.
See, A few years back, all you had to worry about was Franco Escobar, but at this point,
Exactly.
everybody and their mama is
Everybody's
ready
a
for
target.
a red
I
card.
think before season started, I was doing some research on the team, and I had figured out, I don't remember if it was last season or the season before, the Dynamo had the most disciplinary calls made against them, like the most yellows and reds, or the second most maybe. But like it's going with Ben's time. It's kind of been a common thing
Yeah.
with this, but obviously not the red cards. Yellow cards, yes, get the yellow cards, get your 5 in, and get your suspension for the game or the day, whatever. But like the red cards is where I'm like, and then of course a lot of the fans are still defending in this, like, well, it's the refs, right? The refs have been making these bad calls, and this like, yes, but are we really gonna start like a conspiracy that like all pro refs are against the Dynamo, or has it just been really, really bad luck the last 3 games with these refs?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's a combination of both. Not, I think obviously leaning, you can blame the refs like to a certain extent, right? I mean, of course, there's going to be bad calls, maybe some favoritism between bigger teams and smaller teams. Houston being a smaller club, per se, depending on who you play. But also, I think Anali also kind of hit on it, and also Ben Olsen on his press conference. I mean, they're just being lazy. I mean, I get that Shevchenko's maybe was a foul, but maybe not yellow card worthy. I think we can, kind of reason that out. If you're the referee,
But it was still a
like,
lazy
come on,
foul
bro.
for sure. It
But
was still a lazy
exactly,
foul. Yeah.
but then also it's still a lazy foul because he was late. I mean, do you really need to foul that guy that far, far away from your goal when you have like 3 more guys behind you? It's just like those little things that obviously they're split second decisions that you have to make as a soccer player on the field, and the pressure is there and all these things. And, it's just like those little things that, like Nali was saying, like, it's like you have to stay in the game, like for the full 90, and just kind of, even whenever that happens, that foul, you can see Antonio Carlos like, here we go again, and like he was frustrated, with his teammate, and it's one of those things like it starts creating contention between them. Obviously, I'm sure that they're going to talk about it or whatever, and they're going to hash it out hopefully during the week. There's a lot of time, but it's one of those things like, man, are we going to keep doing this every single week? Like, are we going to have to finish every game with 10 guys like sitting in the back and just, busting their butts, like trying to like hold a win or trying to hold a tie? Like this one, I mean, this game should have been a 3-3 tie because both teams, I think, were pretty even. Both teams, attacked, had their chances, score their goals, and it was a rivalry match, and I think both teams had the same amount of, I haven't looked at stats or anything like that, but it seemed like it was pretty even, right? At 3-3, I think everybody would have been happy, the Dynamo with the comeback and like being able to hold the point, Dallas not losing and being able to come back from a losing game, and then at the end you just kind of throw it all away by just doing something stupid like that with so much time in the game that it just kind of handicaps your whole team with 15-20 minutes left in the game.
I'm curious, because I feel like this season we've seen the Dynamo have more fight, like actual like fight and energy, like
bring the nasty.
Like they're gonna get dirty and down with it for these 90 minutes. So then I'm thinking, okay, is that mindset maybe contributing to like, I'm going to do everything I can to win this, and then it's like the discipline isn't there. So it's like I think Ben has to find a balance on how he's going to keep the players more disciplined, but also keep that fight, because the fight has been, I mean, the comeback I mean, they haven't scored a goal first. It's been also obviously always a goal behind. So they have that fight to come back, which it used to not. It wasn't like that last season.
That's a very good point, because I'll give a shout out to Movimiento Naranja. That's our Spanish podcast, and I had David Castro from CG Sports Media, and he mentioned the factor of, this team hasn't scored first, and letting the opposition get that first goal obviously just shifts your mindset, specifically going into your first away game, obviously, for the season, and it being against your biggest rival. That just didn't seem like it was going to be it was going to fare well, and obviously didn't at the end of the day. But what you mentioned, that fight and getting that comeback, I think that's something we had never seen before under Ben Olsen. And I know we've seen those stats of, just incredible how poor they have been, and basically the Dynamo went down at halftime. That was it. You pencil in a loss for Houston. And so it's interesting that we are seeing both dynamics, but the factor of letting the opposition score first, the factor of red cards, and the factor of this team is not out till the very end. It's interesting. One thing to point out, and maybe that I really haven't seen much talk on, is just Matthew Bogusz was absent. Where was he? People are gonna throw stones at Ezequiel Ponce, and I feel Ezequiel Ponce he appeared in plays that were important. Obviously, like that goal in those 5 minutes that were crucial for the Dynamo to get back into the game. But Bogusz was not around in any of those plays and any dangerous plays for the Dynamos. Was the moment too big for him? I mean, Madelyn, you were there. Obviously, you get to see the entire field from your vantage point. But what was the vibe, or maybe what was his body language, if you could read it? Was he just frustrated? Was he just lost?
I think he was just lost. Honestly, that's what the first 35 minutes looked like, is they just looked so lost on the field. Like, we were sitting there watching and we're like, what is going on? Why is that player making that run? Didn't even make sense. And then they were just like kicking balls. It kept being where they kept kicking balls to the center and no one was making that run down the middle. And so obviously it's not going to go anywhere. It was just horrible from the start. So yeah, I think he was absent. I don't even know that I can like tell you the vibe on him, because it just wasn't there. Besides, he was just confused. That's what it felt like. It felt like a lot of the players were confused. Like maybe they had trained something differently in practice, and then Dallas came out with a different formation or like tactic, and then they were just completely lost. Like Bjorn had vibes.
I wonder if Musa not starting threw everything off too, because you prepare for the best players. Musa obviously had been playing a lot, and for him not to start must have thrown everything off, specifically because you kind of see the replacement in Farrington get a brace so early on too. So yeah, I don't know what it was. I was trying to gauge it. Obviously, it's different watching on TV than live, because you can see other reactions around the team. But that's a good point about Bogusz. I know we'll add a little bit more. I'm gonna just go back to the red cards that we talked about, because I was doing the research before I changed the topic. All me, right? The host. I'm gonna bring this point, but I just want to point out that the red card specifically, I was able to find that in 2021 under Tab Ramos. Obviously, this is before your time, Madelyn, but going just the last 5 seasons, 2021 they had 6 red cards. 2022 they had 5. 2023, this is by the time Ben gets here, 3 red cards in 2023, 4 in 2024, 5 in 2025, and 4 this year. That's correct. Isn't it? And it's just not even 5 games in, 4 games.
Yeah.
So those numbers, the average of a red card game is, it's
no good.
It's impressive. It's impressive for sure. And then going to the stats, Christian, ball possession 55% for Dallas, 45 for Dynamo, 16 shots, total shots for Dallas, 10 for the Dynamo, but Dynamo had 4 big chances. So that just, shows that you just got to finish those opportunities. And of course, that red card changes everything, because the game, you guys mentioned, it was very even. And if you are down a man 20 minutes, you're asking a lot. Anything else that you have? Yeah, Chris, go ahead and add it.
So I think we also have to think about the whole formation change, right? I mean, this is probably like their 8th to 10th game that they've been playing with this formation. And not only that, but the rotation of players, due to injury, due to red cards, due to whatever it may be. And I think that's why I don't like the formation. For 2 reasons. First of all, I just don't like it, period. Me personally, I just don't see it.
I don't like getting all kinds of props.
I don't like me personally. I just don't like it. I don't think the players are the right ones that they have, that the Dynamo has right now. And I just don't think it's cohesive enough to kind of like play. That's why you see Matthew Bogusz kind of being lost. That's why you see Jack McGlynn be lost. I mean, Jack McGlynn, yes, maybe he has like some good passes and it has a couple of assists, but I mean, he doesn't do anything else. I mean, I mean, I don't know. If anybody can show me what McGlynn actually does, other than like get the ball.
Well, he's another guy too that I will say disappears in big moments. He also was kind of just there this game. Nothing.
He did, and I mean, he didn't offer anything defensively or offensively.
And it could be because he was playing alongside Hector Herrera, right? Because we've seen them only come towards the end of the game and play together. But again, I point out that third goal in which, Guillermo says, I'm going to have to do basically everything on my own, having to carry the team, looking for that through ball. I mean, we know that Jack can hit those through balls, but that vision and that how, the weight on that pass was just top notch. And so it just changes the dynamics a little bit, Madelyn.
I think them playing next to each other, Herrera and McGlynn, I felt like everyone was on top of each other too. That's what it felt like too. No one knew where they were supposed to be. So space wasn't being covered because they were just all on top of each other. But I think we're lacking with McGlynn this season that we saw a lot last season was they aren't doing the long shots with him as much. Like obviously there was that one for Bogusz a few games ago, but besides that, he's not taking shots really from outside the box.
He's too far away. That's why he starts too far. But yeah, I mean, the most you see, I mean, when you look at all these heat maps or whatever of Jack McGlynn, I don't know if I can pull it up right now, but when you look at those heat maps, I mean, he starts like where the center backs start, and I mean, you see it.
Yeah, he comes back a lot, and we've talked about
because he wants the ball. I mean, you have guys like you have multiple guys that play in the same role. Yeah. Bogusz plays that role. Guillermo plays that role. Herrera plays that role. Jack McGlynn plays. All those guys play the same exact role. They all want to have the ball. They all want to create. They all want to find Ponce. They all want to find Anali on the run. They all want to find whoever's on the right on a run, which is Holmes. Which Holmes I like, but I feel like he's lacking
I like him.
Something.
Yeah,
really?
I like him too.
He's a hustler, but I feel like he lacks something. Yeah, I think Dorsey would have been great. I mean, Dorsey is too far gone, right? But I think Dorsey still had that. He would
never know, man. Aliu came back. Dorsey may come back still.
That's the thing. I mean, the thing about Aliu is like
never say never with Asher Mendelson at the helm.
I'm trying to be positive about Aliu, but obviously Aliu, he's coming in towards the end and not really, with a man down, mostly defending. Like he doesn't have to.
No, I think it's the red cards, man. It's just having to do so many rotations, unnecessary rotations, because everyone's healthy except for obviously Arthur and Lucas. But Arthur, you're new from preseason. But even if it's a plug and play, you can probably still get away with it if it's only minimal. But the unnecessary red cards continue to just shift everything.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my friends about is that because they're new fans. And so I was telling them, I was like, yes, last season we kept having this issue where the lineup was changing because of injuries. It was just injuries. Yeah, I guess he does start kind of far.
Like all his pitches are
I will say though that he does exactly what Hector Herrera did on his first stint,
But I think he has a stronger foot. He has a stronger foot that's not being used.
Yeah, Herrera has a way better vision, experience. Yeah. Just quality. I mean, Jack McGlynn is a great player, but he's not Hector.
It's just different. It's different player, right? And we saw that he did better playing a little higher up the field. McGlynn did. And
I mean, he killed it last year. He killed it. As soon as we said it, I'm not gonna say I said it, but I said
it. Carlos Shanks and Femi will be back next.
Oh Lord, Lord Jesus, poor guy.
We won't talk about Quiñones. I think Quiñones. I think it was gone, already. Right? Yeah, he's gone. No. It was. I mean. Unfortunately for him, 2 years, he couldn't get healthy. That was a terrible knee injury. You kind of hope that personally he can just walk. I mean, you can see him and he kind of, has like a limp to him. And obviously he probably just kept re-injuring that. I know we touched a lot about FC Dallas. We're doing good in timing, 50 minutes almost. Any closing thoughts? And I'll give it to Madelyn on this. How much did you like it? Are you ready for the next Texas Derby? Dallas in Houston or Austin. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Are you doing any more traveling for the
Yeah,
Dynamo.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Austin. I think that's April 25th. I'm gonna have to see how school is going there too. I had like essays I definitely should have worked on this weekend, but Dynamo takes priority over that. But yeah,
ChatGPT, we know this. Come on. Kidding.
no, it was a good experience, and I'm glad that it wasn't like even though it was a loss, the vibes, like just the experience. I would rather have what we had with the comeback, even the loss. It was sad. Everyone sang sad music on the bus ride home. But to experience it, I think was fun instead of like it going all the way up there and it being like a 0-0 draw. That I think that would have made me more mad than like seeing the fight and then obviously the red card. So it's like with the red card, you saw the fight and there were positives to take out of the game. So even though it came home with no points, there were positives.
One thing that I want to ask you, because I personally I liked it. But seeing okay, this is gonna sound weird because I was like, yeah, but seeing Eric Quill get into like the fan base, that was dope. Like, you know,
Yes, I love that. Ben never comes that close to us. He never goes past like the goalpost. Even if they have like the biggest win, he just he's like, yay. And I'm like, Ben. The most we get is when the players come over and like
Yeah.
dance with us, and that's fun. But no, I think it showed like, even though it's Dallas, Dallas sucks always, but I think it showed some like good heart with like their coach that like their coach has that heart
yeah,
with the fan base.
I just thought it was a really cool moment. It's a game that matters a lot to both fan bases, and for him to
Yeah.
do that, because if I'm not mistaken, you know, Dynamo took the best of him on his first year last year in this matchup. So seeing the way that he celebrated with that fan base, I thought it was epic, and I just because it goes back to the idea of when we talk about, you know, if you want to grow those derbies, those rivalries that for the most part felt so meh the last, you know, 5 years. I think stuff like this, having a 7-goal thriller, you know, and just a back-to-back game of emotions and a roller coaster of, you know, basically the home team being so happy to them being so sad and vice versa. I think it makes it really cool, and it just, as you mentioned, it makes you want to keep going to the specific games and seeing those type of matches. And for what it is, you know, it gets to the point that, oh well, what you're fighting for in this matchup, the teams is for El Capitan, right? That cannon that I think it doesn't even work anymore, so it's just a statue at this point. But it's just it's interesting. It's interesting, obviously, the fact that it's like, man, it's just that passion. But yeah, we'll move along. As Sam Bynes gets signed as well. Obviously, we get the return of Aliu. Guys that Aliu knows the team much better. Sam Bynes, there's definitely questions on him. Just I don't know, from what, you know, sources, that, you know, maybe he wasn't the nicest person at times, or why not? Who knows how it's gonna fit. He was a U.S. national team player. He did play in Europe. He gets injured, comes back. I mean, for Colorado to let go of him, just buy out his contract, I just think that was weird.
weird.
It says a lot, right? It says a lot. And so that right there, you kind of you hope, yeah, he's going to be a dead piece, but I don't know if I necessarily see him making a dent unless the other 5 different wingers get injured or something. But I want to finish out. Don't want to go any longer than we have to, but Dynamo 2 has been on fire. And I know that some of you guys may see them, the 4 games in, 4 wins, have not conceded a goal. They have, let me count them, 13 goals.
4-0, 5-0, 2-0.
6, 11, 13. Yeah, 13 goals that they've scored. I believe they have, like, if they have 13 goals, I think they have 12 different players scoring those goals. That's incredible. The only person that has a brace is Di Morelli. Diego Gonzalez got on the board, which is fantastic for him after coming off of was one of his, you know, really, really good years last year. The team was doing fantastic, and then he, you know, has a ACL injury, And since then, basically the team just never won again. And so good to see Diego back in action. The one that I'm really excited about, and Dynamo fans that may not follow D2 may have seen his name, but Gilberto Rivera, number 6 on the D2, has been really good. I've gotten to see him live, and I mean the guy, you can tell he's a baller. He comes from, I think, San Jose State is where he got drafted from. And the reason I mentioned Dynamo because he did make the bench last game against Portland. Obviously didn't see the field and didn't debut, but he's just a different player. He's just a different guy. They can definitely change the field. And from us that we've probably been following the Dynamo 2 for the last 3-4 years, we've seen that midfield, Christian, and you can attest to this. Just we already knew who was gonna play. You know, you knew from the beginning it was like Marcelo Palomino with blanking on the Colombian kid's name.
That one. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn Reigns, and then obviously eventually Brooklyn Reigns was a stable next to
Juan.
like Diego, yes, Juan Castilla.
There you go.
And there we go. This is tag team,
Teamwork,
bro. You're
teamwork.
it. And so then obviously with Sebastian Rodriguez and Brooklyn Reigns and just multiple players, but this specific group for this year, they just look so much better. And obviously the goals, the points, the wins, all games at home, they will. Hey, I was looking, guys, and the Dynamo don't play this weekend. Dynamo 2 don't play till like April 12th. So they have like 3 weeks off. So there's not a lot of men's Houston soccer. The Dash are also off, if I'm not mistaken, as well, 1 week. And yeah, it's well, take that back. Dynamo 2 plays this weekend. And then
At home or away?
Wait, let me see. Actually, I think I'm talking.
I think it's away.
11.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, I thought it was away.
You're right. It is away, but it is April 12th. They don't play till April 12th. That's what I meant. So yeah, so there's nothing happening in this realm. So we went from a 9-point weekend to almost happening again. Obviously, it didn't happen. The Dynamo were the only ones that lost. If you guys are interested in hearing more about Houston Dash, and I hope you are, Orange and Blueprints Wednesday night with Diego and Manny Olivares. They'll be talking about the big home opener win for the Houston Dash and how everybody loves Kiki. Kiki, you love me. There you go. No, but it's interesting. I mean, the teams are doing well, even with the Dynamo losing the Texas Derby, as you mentioned, Madelyn. I think hopes are still pretty high. 4 games in, 2 wins, 2 losses. Not the end of the day. You're still look at the table, and they're still in a possible playoff picture. Granted, there's plenty of games left.
Yeah, it's not far.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, you don't feel, you don't look at it and like we did last year, and 5 games in, you were last place by a lot. But we'll be back next Monday to preview the match against Seattle Sounders. Correct?
Yes. And it's the I think April 6th was the first time a Dynamo game was played, and so it's the 21st anniversary of like the first Dynamo game. So the tailgates are going to be doing stuff.
Ooh,
you can drink.
We have to. We're gonna have you out there talking to
Birthday
fans.
Party.
I need to commit. This is when you said the 4th. Oh man.
Yeah, whatever that game is.
Okay, I may not commit. Take that. I'm taking that back.
Yeah, 4-4.
I just thought about it because I need to go to a Dash game and they play on Friday, so I was gonna commit.
Oh, they do.
To that Friday game. But if for some reason I don't make that Friday game, I'll try to be there on the 4th, which I don't think is gonna happen. I'm thinking about it. Dang. All these birthdays, man. Why did my family have to have so many birthdays like so close to each other? I think it's my brother and my sister-in-law's birthday on the 4th. I don't know, man. It's a cluster fudge for sure, guys. I do my best to just do my thing, but life is how life does. Christian, Madelyn's been a fantastic show. Look at us, 59 minutes. We're about to hit that 1 hour mark here. I know we discussed a lot. Is there anything that you guys feel we missed? Is there anything that you guys want to, Christian, floor is yours if you have anything you want to add. I know we kind of rushed through Dynamo 2, but anything that you want to add, man?
No, not really. I mean, it'll be cool to see when these kids, I mean, you've been watching them a little bit more than I have this year, to be honest, and also JP.
Agustín Resch, he signed a contract, so there's that.
There you go.
So the kid obviously played a couple games. He did come in, right?
He did.
He came in against
and
Dallas.
he got a haircut.
And he got a haircut. Hey.
And didn't we have a
new contract money, buddy? What do you want? You get paid.
Imagine he celebrated.
Yeah.
Hey, I might as well, right? Didn't we do a what's it called? An orange talk with him, right?
We did do an orange talk with him.
Yeah.
You
so
can
go get to know him.
Listen to
he's
that.
very Argentinian.
Very Argentinian.
Which
did you listen to it? Did you listen to it?
I got it. No, I started it. I haven't finished it.
All right.
Bro, honestly, look, this is a compliment to ourselves.
Yeah.
We put out so much stuff.
It's hard to keep up.
I'll be honest, like sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Like I was like, dang, like how many things are we gonna post on one day? But that's a good thing. I mean, the more the better, right? So if you guys can't keep up, send me a text and be like, hey, read this. But I mean, yeah, we do a lot of stuff. So like, yeah, so that's a good thing. Hey, guys, check it out. I mean, we are trying to keep up with it.
Yeah.
So
we'll do our best. It's obviously, like I said, I don't know how far of a bye week. I need to check the schedule. I'm sure the guys are going to be back in training soon. If there's an orange talk out there, the Bayou Banter and that Discord will hear it first. Jay Hurtado, we are positive, man. He's like, we're happy. The only one that was drinking and listening to Ramon Ayala was Christian.
I turned it off for the podcast.
Do you have a Argentinian version of Ramon Ayala? Is there somebody that sings nothing but sad songs from Argentina?
Kind of. There's a guy that sings a lot of love songs. Yeah, I guess same thing, right? Yeah.
Is the guy that sings the
it's more like cumbia.
Lamento Boliviano? Is that guy Argentinian, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
he passed away, the main guy, but
yeah, that was a band from like the 80s.
Yeah, that was a great band though. That great band, great song, by the way.
From Mendoza, yeah. They're old school, bro.
We're trying to culture Madelyn. They actually did a remix with Bad Bunny. You should listen to it.
Okay. I do like Bad Bunny.
She heard Bad Bunny and she was like,
check it out. I'll send it on the group so you can go look for it on wherever Apple Music.
Yeah, I use Apple Music.
If we say it too much.
That's so weird. Bad Bunny and Enanitos Verdes seems like a terrible combination.
No, it was actually only the guy that passed away, their main singer. Okay. So it wasn't the full group. Okay. Yeah, and he passed away. Like he recorded that, and then I think he passed away like a couple years after that. Because I was listening to it, and I was like, man, this is the guy. And because they kind of bring some hints of that Lamento Boliviano into it. It's pretty good. It's like they did a good job with it.
Well, I don't know. This is me being Argentinian, but they say Argentinians have like the best Spanish rock. I don't know how true this is. But a lot of good bands.
I will say, I'm not gonna say that y'all don't. And Madelyn's just looking at us with puzzle but there's actually a really good documentary on Netflix that I can go watch it, and it just
put
shows
on the banter.
I'll put it on the banter, and y'all can watch it. I think, I think it was in Spanish, but there's subtitles and all that, so anybody can watch it. But it does a really good job of and there's a hip hop one too that I've watched. But this one, it's about how Spanish rock was made, and so obviously they show everything, and there's like Spain, Argentina, Mexico, all the way to like Calle 13 is considered rock, and I was like, wait, what? And apparently it is. If you watch this documentary, there's more reggaeton and like Bad Bunny types music. Obviously, that's what Calle 13 is.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
But it shows you what is considered rock, and you're like, oh, okay, which is basically a lot of like stands with political like stuff too, and all that stuff. So anyways, we've drifted a little bit from
a little bit, huh?
just a tad. This should be made. See, we're a culture people. We just
cultured.
cultured.
You hear the classical music in the background? Yeah.
Oh no, that's ESPN.
That's ESPN. Terrible.
But Madelyn, thanks one more. Can you tell the people again? I know you mentioned it, but what's happening on April 4th for the Seattle Dynamo game?
Yeah, so it's going to be the 21st anniversary of the first Dynamo game that was played. So they're going to do something big at the tailgate. I don't know what the actual plans are. I know that there's going to be some kind of spicy challenge. I said I wouldn't do that because something cannot be spicy and is spicy to me. But I think Brian Ching is going to donate some stuff, or maybe Pat Onstead is going to donate a bobblehead that's signed. No one quote me on that. But I know that there is some sort of cool Dynamo gear, signed Dynamo gear, if you win the spicy challenge. And it's just going to be in the parking lot where they normally tailgate. That's like one of the events. I don't know if anything extra is happening, but it's going to be celebratory.
I'm only going to go if Chabala is there. That's it.
Joey's cousin. You'd be besties with him. That's a Chavala.
He's amazing.
All right, Christian, man, if you can tell the people how they can connect with us and we'll get out of here.
Yes, sir. Bayou City Soccer.net is the website, guy. Go ahead and check us out over there. You can always find us on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook. You can find us at Bayou City Soccer on those. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't yet to the YouTube channel. And if you're listening, if you're one of the listeners and not a watcher, make sure you just leave a review or something nice. And then, of course, do you want to tell them about the great partners that we have?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Elotes Bravos, you can find them at Shell Energy Stadium. It makes it easy. If you already make it out to the games, whether it be Houston, Dynamo or Dash, go get yourself some elotes. They're opening 2 locations on Dynamo games. I just found that out, like 2 locations in the stadium.
They are.
And then only on their main one for the Dash game. And Ugly Guppy, there'll be more news about the shirt coming out that hopefully that you guys can buy. I know we get inquiries all the time about shirts. I know a lot of people want the hat. I need to get more hats because, every time people look at me like, I don't know. I don't want a sticker. Can I have a hat? And I'm like, bro, I didn't shave my head today, so I can't just give you my hat,
I got a hat head.
I got looking all raggedy, man. I can't be looking all raggedy out there. And of course, our friends that just got a new facelift, a rebrand. Unisport Soccer Houston. Make sure you check them out, man. They have everything. They have all the World Cup shirts. So I know, we're very diverse here in the city. So Madelyn, you can go get your Team USA jersey. Christian, your Argentina jersey. I need to go get my Mexico. Have y'all seen the new away kit for Mexico? It's like legit, man. It's nice.
You seen the Uruguays?
I have not seen Uruguay, actually.
One of them looks like a blue Spider-Man.
I will.
You know who has good ones? Costa Rica has good ones.
Yeah.
Costa Rica is fire.
I was about to
Norway. Fire.
Norway, Brazil, it looks the same to me. Like it's
England too. England's like they just change the collar every time. It's the exact same.
You said you gave everybody a red card. That's why. There
we go.
You're out of here.
It's just to kind of so we can get accustomed to it, guys.
Yeah, but I need to go and get actually, one of the gifts that they gave my son was the new Mexico jersey. And I'm like, bro, how does little fool beat me already?
I got the new Argentina jersey.
There you go.
For
See,
my birthday.
There you go. See, that's what happens when your birthday's before the work. I'll get the when they lose, in October around my birthday. That's when I'll get like the new old kit. At that point,
my birthday's in October too, so I'm gonna have to wait. No, I'll just end up buying it.
Yeah,
get it for sale afterwards.
The Dago, the third kit, is that the one I'm talking about? Is that the white kid? I don't know. It's nice. It looks so. Granted, all the Adidas have the rebrand of like the old logo and like the Costa Rica's it's an Adidas jersey, if I'm not mistaken, and that looks legit. They did. I was
about to say something mean.
I know they. But here, I'm gonna let you do something mean right here. The France jersey is nice, but it doesn't have that many stars. That's it, Chris.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that they're just stuck at 2, right?
Yeah, that's it.
it doesn't fit their aesthetics. You know, they're just two kind of people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the black one. Okay, yeah, no, I like the white kid. All right, guys, thanks again for joining us. As Christian said, man, you can always go back if you got here late. Go back and watch this video. If you catch it on the podcast feed, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, go in there, give us a 5-star review if you like us. If you don't really like us, a 1 is fine. I won't cry. Christian won't
do
cry.
anything.
I will.
Yeah, just don't do anything. If it's not 5, just go away.
Go away.
There's no reason. Don't waste your energy on a 1.
Or at least if you're gonna give a 1-star review, like write this like 3-paragraph review.
Yeah.
Why you
Tell us
hate it.
why.
I hate when people are like everything, like when you see it like restaurants and like everything was great, food was great, and then they give you a 3-star. It's like, bro,
Then what
was it great or not? Like, what was your problem?
No, actually, that's so funny that you comment, and we'll finish with this because I saw one that of displays that I've been there before, and just randomly looking at the comments, someone left a 1-star review, and it said, "We try to go. Apparently, it was at 11, but they actually opened at noon, so we couldn't make it." And the owner responded like, "Bro, how is that my fault? And you leave me a 1-star review? That's on you. Like Google and Yelp is all correct. Like that's on you for showing up at the wrong time. Why did I get a 1-star review?"
That's like we get a 1-star because you can't read. The hell? That's messed up.
Man, but thank you guys so much for joining the show. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Nos vemos.
Houston!